stock 2s because they're cheap. Because nobody can get stock. I'm gonna say buy stock 2s because Shadow 2s aren't a thing.
Matt,
look at my target. Look at that baby target. That's what dry firing, dude.
When does everybody get their Shadow 2?
I don't know, dude. Like
just give me a date.
2018. I don't know.
Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show, where you'll never get your Shadow 2 ever.
No, never gonna ship.
All right, we're here to answer your shooting questions. As you can see, we have Mr. Matt Hopkins here. Say hello, Matt.
Hello.
And who says, this is straight from CZ customer service. If you want a Shadow 2, you go fuck yourself.
Ouch.
No, they don't say that. They're actually very nice people there. The English isn't so good.
Whatever, yeah.
And Mr. Tim Herron from the Ben Steger Pro Shop.
Tim Herron.
No, Tim Myers. My bad, wrong Tim. You are from the Pro Shop, though. And I can tell you without a doubt that if you have a customer service issue, that Tim will tell you to go fuck yourself.
What?
You did that today.
No.
Like at least 3 times.
Never.
What about that guy trying to sell us vests?
That's just funny.
Did you see that, Hopkins?
No, what happened?
All right, so this dude from Asia somewhere with this weird name.
I think it's Pakistan.
Yeah, okay. Well, so he was sending us, or sending the Pro Shop messages on Facebook like, hey, I've got this great competition gear. You want to buy it? And I'm like, clearly there's no way I'm buying anything from some dude that doesn't speak English. But I just started responding. And I was like, yeah, let's see what you got. And the first thing he sends is a picture of this camouflage vest. It looks like a plate carrier vest. And I was like, that is excellent. Do those come in pink? And he said, yeah, my man. He just keeps sending pictures. And he just keeps going with it. No, he never sent a picture of a pink one, but I want a sample now. The whole game is to get him to send a sample of a pink vest. And if he does that, I think we're going to buy a bunch. Just because.
Sounds like a terrible business plan.
I was about to say, yeah, Ben, I think you're not the right person to buy it.
Sounds like I have no interest in pink vests, but okay.
It's not about what you have an interest in, Tim.
It's true. This is true.
It's about what's fun. Tim, is there anything you actually want to promote?
Yeah, I think everybody should buy a stock 2 because you can't get Shadow 2s. And I hear they're not a thing. So, stock 2s in stock, ready to go.
I got 4 of them.
It'll hold you over till 2018, though.
Yeah.
Get your stock 2 now. Or whatever. I recently shot a level 2 match, and on the second stage of the day, failed to engage an entire array. As you can imagine, not only was this embarrassing, but had me pretty shook up. I learned from other sports to put mistakes behind you and focus on the next point, task, or stage, and was able to pull out a decent finish after zeroing 135-point stage. My question to you and your panel of merry men is, do you have anything specific you do focus on or try to do to put a huge mistake behind you and continue to shoot at peak performance for the rest of the match? Tim, you have an interesting strategy about this, don't you?
Sure.
Be honest. Be honest. It's okay. This is a legitimate strategy. It won't make you popular.
I'm trying to get... Well, okay. I try not to dwell on it, but the easiest thing for me to do is to make fun of the person on my squad who did worse than me to make myself feel better. So, if I have a friend who forgot a target or something and I didn't do anything that bad, then I feel pretty good about it. And I can move on.
No, so what does that actually look like, though, Tim? So you have a mic, and then you start attacking the people in your squad, right? Your friends?
Well, no. What you saw last year was not the norm. That was me just messing with
you. That is the way you've acted at every match I've shot with you ever.
Yeah. Because, listen, I had no chance of winning with you, so I might as well go for stage wins.
How'd that work out for you?
Not well. Man. It didn't go well.
All right. Matt, what's your strategy?
I mean, you have to forget about it, basically. So you dwell on it and write notes down or whatever, and maybe realize what you did or didn't do to cause that. Then you just got to move on. You can't even think about it after that.
Yeah, I like to kind of think big picture, think about perspective. So what I mean is, if you look at the scores for big matches, you'll see the guys at the top very frequently will have a stage or two that I'm sure they wish they could forget about. It happens to everyone. And when your stage comes, not if you have a stage like that, when that happens, just be kind of prepared that, okay, this is that stage for me. And, whatever. I'm going to wish I could forget about it, but it happens to everyone. I can still place well in the match. I can still accomplish a lot of my goals or whatever, even with this stage. And that's it. You kind of take a long view of it. Think about the bigger picture. Don't get too wrapped up in it. I know what it feels like in the moment to have that happen, but try to distance yourself from the situation a little bit, and I think you'll be a lot more positive about it. Anything else to say about that, Tim? No?
Yeah, but what about when people are heckling you because you did so poorly?
Well, I would say that when you heckle them, you're inviting them to heckle you in return. Aren't you, Tim?
Touche.
Dude, Matt, this one stage we shot at a match last year, Tim was shooting it so crazy that people started laughing halfway through him shooting the stage. And you
Which
could
one
hear
was
them
it?
laughing. The one that I shot one in like 13 seconds, was pretty good. Then you go up there and you shot it like
Oh
12
yeah,
seconds. And you weren't even aiming.
bro.
That was obvious that you weren't aiming. It was
It was
awesome.
fast. It was so fast.
It
He got your
was.
time though, didn't he?
Oh, he got the time.
That's what matters.
And he shot 64% of my score
On that one stage.
on that stage.
That minor score is rough, bro.
Mics count the same major and minor though, don't they?
Oh
only one.
shit, that's a good point. So really, Tim, if you think about it, minors is easier.
It's true.
Hey Ben, I'm an A-class shooter, and I recently volunteered to teach a large group of new shooters the fundamentals of practical shooting. I'm no pro, and I'm new to teaching, but I think I can teach them more than they can learn from Google and shooting forum jackassery. We've had a few lessons on grip, stance, and trigger control, and we've shot a couple matches together. They're all starting to get good points, and they're not having trouble dropping steel anymore, so that's good. What is the best way to teach students to drive the gun through target arrays instead of engaging chains of single targets that must be double tapped one after the other? I love the podcast. Keep up the good shooting talk and the good fucking around. Tim, what's the strategy? Because you've got one that's kind of viable, actually.
It's proven.
It is.
Proven to deliver 100% on an L prize.
Well, what is it, man? Don't keep us
So
in
you watch
suspense.
it. Basically, you listen to the tempo of somebody really fast shooting it, and you match the tempo. And then you sort out the hits after later. So I shoot a tempo. Like if I want to get good at something like that, I would do like the Blake drill out of Ben's book. Set up the 3 targets, relatively close, and just try to shoot all 3 targets with no discernible transition. But that's how I kind of learned how to do the L prize fast.
All right. So does that work for other people? Because we've tried it with other people. What do you think?
Know.
I think it does. It doesn't work for everyone, but a few people start to get it when you're like, hey, make it sound like this. It's a very dangerous strategy to do in a match. It's bad for the points, but it can be.
I've done it in a match.
We know.
Oh,
It's even better when you watch somebody who's shooting against shoot a stage and you hear his pace. You're like, well, I'm going to do that just a little bit faster.
That's what I did.
Matt, what would you say?
well, I think you first got to go over like how you do a transition.
Of course.
Like the fundamentals of it, right? So you
Yes.
you see the follow through on the shot, then you snap your eyes to wherever you're going. Gun comes into the focus, then you transition back to the sight or the sight picture you need for the shot, and then shoot the shot. That's a transition in a real snippet. But then I would put the targets super close together, so like targets stacked next to each other, and then have them shoot at a pace that's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically you're setting the tempo for them and then making them do the transition within the same tempo.
And then I imagine you space the targets out.
Yeah,
one
then you
more
space
as
the
go.
targets out once they can do it within the short distance, real close ones.
Yeah, and I think the key thing that people need to be watching for there is how little sight picture they might actually need. So usually guys want to get a really hard sight picture, then hit the trigger twice. And transitioning faster is more about like shooting sooner, where you're kind of looking through the sights and you learn that hey, that's enough in a lot of circumstances to hit targets. What I like to do to help people with the target transitions, do a dry fire exercise, set up some targets. Doesn't really matter how you lay them out. And then people practice just the transition part through the targets without even needing to touch the trigger or simulate shooting at all. Just point the gun at each target, aim at each target. The instant you have a sight picture on that target, go to the next one. And when you see how little time that takes, that helps people learn, hey, I could be shooting right now, as opposed to getting a really comfortable sight picture. Sound good?
You do the same thing in live fire right after that?
Yep, we do live fire right after.
Would you do that same exact drill?
Yes.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, look at Tim clicking around.
Somebody just bought a gun, man. They just bought a stock too because of this ad I threw up.
Oh, yeah?
Isn't this thing live?
It's live. You're getting rich as hell right now. What do you make on those? About $20?
No, 10. I blame Matt for that, by the way.
That's not me, dude.
It's your part of the problem.
Oh. I know what the problem is, but it's not us.
No, CZ's not doing anything to fuck up Tanfo, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
Exactly. What? Hey, Ben, how are you? I have a question for you and your panel in this podcast. What are some recommended drills to work on if you have only a single target to use in an indoor shooting range? The range gives you 25-yard max distance, freedom to draw but not turn, table start, etc. Some bad lighting condition as most indoor ranges. Imagine you have 200-300 rounds to shoot each session, 1 or 2 sessions a week. And also there's an outdoor range available where you can shoot once a week. You can do target transitions, entry and exit stuff. So it's okay to focus on just certain aspects of practicing at the indoor range. All right, the drills that come to his mind are dot drill, 4 aces, bill drills at different distances, bill reload drill at different distances, table start, one-handed shooting can be mixed in there. He'd like to maximize what he can get out of his indoor range training. Tim, if you're going to go do some indoor range training and be a super baller at shooting, what would you do?
Yeah, what he said. I mean, I don't know. What else is there? I mean, you could partial something maybe. I don't know. I mean, he's very limited, and what he said sounds very effective to me.
Yes,
if he does gas and target thing.
Yes, if he does that stuff, he's practicing more than 90% of the guys he's going to be shooting against. So that'll be good.
Tim Harris shoots indoors all the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a lot of dumb shit.
You can do movement and multiple targets though, so that's one of the
that's a big difference.
He can? That's pretty tight.
Yeah, he just sets up a target in like 2 lanes over and then shoots on them both.
They let him do that?
Yeah.
Strange.
They must know him. All right. Or they must know who he is. My bad.
Don't you know me?
Don't you know who I is? If we're going to divide up the drills that this guy's doing into 2 categories, into marksmanship fundamentals, so grip, sight picture, trigger control, that stuff. So bill drills, dot drills, that sort of stuff. And then gun manipulations, draws, reloads, switching to one-handed shooting, that kind of stuff. He's covering, I mean, those are the 2 categories he can really work on pretty effectively. Target transitions and movement, that has to be done outside, of course. I'm not seeing he doesn't have gaps here where he's missing one category or the other. There's different drills he could do. Like, yeah, I like the one where you're shooting on just an A zone. I like that. I like the one where you're doing the pairs of shots onto the target to kind of learn not to press down into the gun, into recoil, that sort of stuff. I like those things. There's other drills that I like. You could utilize the head box a little bit on the target if you wanted to do other drills, but that stuff doesn't really matter. You don't need to do all the drills. You just kind of make sure that he's working on the different things he needs to work on. I think his plan is reasonable. I think it's fine. Hopkins, I imagine you agree.
There's not really anything you can add, really.
Not any broad category of thing. There is little drills or variations he could do differently, yeah?
What about doing like a Blake drill on a reduced size target that is on the same like target area. Would that even work?
So you take one backer board and use like half-size targets to do
Yeah.
target transitions. Yeah, he could do that, but then think about it from his perspective. Where is that really worth the effort, given that
No.
he's going to be doing target transition practice at his outdoor range?
Probably not worth it, but just give another maybe option for him.
Yeah, yeah, he could do that. I suppose. I don't know if they let him. They
Would
probably
get
would.
expensive though, probably with all the reduced size targets.
Yeah, and the ammo.
Print them out. Print them out, I guess.
No, just buy them from Tim.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, do you still teach the 3 clasp thing or whatever? You know, the
3 grasp
strong
drill?
hand.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
one.
do you still do that?
Yeah, I
Or
haven't done
teach
it.
it, I should say.
Yeah. So draw, shoot 2.
I mean, that would work.
Take one hand off, shoot 2. Switch hands, shoot 2. That's a fun drill. I like that. That's Rob Latham's drill, actually, Tim.
Oh, okay. Well, it's interesting. I mean, that would work well in indoor
He's
range.
basically my shooting hero.
Oh, I mean, he's talented.
What are you laughing at, Matt?
I just how you
Show
said
some
it.
respect, dude.
I am.
Dude,
I
he's
said you guys
awesome.
my shooting hero. What the fuck?
There he goes again,
It's just
dude.
funny, dude. It's just funny. Sorry.
Well, the feeling doesn't have to be fucking mutual. Like, I'm like a puppy, man. I'm just stupid. Even if people don't like me, I'm just like, oh, my hero.
That's it, right?
That shit makes Tim so uncomfortable when I say that shit. Look at his face. It's so funny. Another bang up episode, guys. I thought it was really great.
This is the best.
I don't miss Tim Heron one bit.
No way.
No, we replaced him with somebody even more entertaining.
But I don't drink, so it's a bummer.
Yeah, but you don't really need alcohol to talk crazy, do you?
I don't know. Yeah, but he gets a little sassy when he's drinking, so that's fun.
I do. We should like not allow him to drink water.
Why don't
When
you
he
get
has
Keith
to drink
back on here?
alcohol no
Get him
matter what.
smashed and get him back on here.
Yeah, we should get Keith back on. That would be very interesting. All right. Well, anyway, audience people, if you have a question you'd like the answer to, go to bensteger.com. Send me an email. Let me know what your question is. You know, any pertinent information. We love that shit. Great show, guys. So good. Holy